ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Okay, how are the butts are we gonna get out of here? Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? That door up there. Hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took the key with Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... Yes, it opened!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Oh, the ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long? Ever since I can remember. I came from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family has always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't even heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Before I came here, I was looking up info on the school online, and I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose, to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him, face to face. What is it? I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, and he had a promising future.
However,
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy that he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However,
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
so
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
however,
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as a little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family? To just cut him out like that?
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey,
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it.
indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Looks like we're back.
Whew.
But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. No, now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary, I was just returning the favour. This is how we got out of that garbage pit. I never would have imagined that's where this led. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out... And I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
in other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time until we're found out, and it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
so
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. Alright, guess we'll go to the gym. Right, we're in the trash area. This is the dorms, so... Oh, it's good to be back, and also good to not be dead. I do enjoy not being dead. Man, remember those mornings when all we had to worry about was getting up and going to the dining hall? Good times. Good times. So now we're on chapter 6. The game is reaching its conclusion. Very excited to see the end of this again. It's an absolute trip. I really enjoyed playing through this with you guys. Thank you so much for for being here with me. Hey, 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 hey! Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto is supposed to be dead! What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished! Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again! And this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko!
Right.
Do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
no.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? Huh? I lose? You, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego! You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you'd killed it.
am I wrong?
Now here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well,
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence.
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
what the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
That's what we have
then
to
I
do.
suggest you take my advice.
So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's
It's
time for one
time-
last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial. One last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Barry?
what's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now, what you've suggested might be possible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words,
Does that mean you accept?
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself.
Let's have one final grisly showdown.
He agreed! Then we still have a shot at this.
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end. So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here.
All the mysteries.
That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that, then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along.
Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school, then you win. But if you can't do all of that,
We'll all face execution, right?
I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me?
We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure. So what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement.
You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. And having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that.
Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception? Then it's part of the regulations? Which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro...
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why'd you go quiet all of a sudden?
I'm done talking. I've got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya?
Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable.
Leave me alone. Get out of here.
Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go?
I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment, overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Okay. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I'd ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than I expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so
They had no choice but to accept.
because
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
so
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said that they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen.
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
so
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world?
it would seem
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into despair. The mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous. Completely irrational. That's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto,
I know how angry it must make you, and yet, that same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
in other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very
At
least,
least that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us to themselves?
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules, to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to their entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge?
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance. Because you believed in me, another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least. I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanour is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time,
correct.
or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to win.
Hey,
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible? Huh?
anyway,
Right now we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in the dorms somewhere. Shall we go? This is gonna be hard to break it to you guys. Hey, I know are you having a nice, pleasant school life? That's a shame because, either we win or we die in the Game of Thrones. Where is everybody? Everybody's a deet. Oh, she's no deet. This is Toko's room. Is she inside?
Hey,
I don't think she's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Toko's not here. I thought Byakuya's room was near here. Yeah, it is. This is Byakuya's room. Is he inside?
hey,
I don't think he's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. So no one's in their rooms. Hina. This is Hina's room. Is she inside? Probably not. I'm guessing
Hey.
not. I mean, we may as well check Hiro. It's so sad when you look at all the list of dorms and like most people are dead. This is Hiro's room. He is probably not inside. No, we need to keep looking. Right, so they're not in the dorms. Are they in the dining room? The map will tell me, but they'll be in the dining room. And suddenly we were greeted with... You again? Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Jeez, what the heck?
however,
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief.
Is that Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together. and survived? As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
What? Wait, what's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks.
It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog.
Get away! Shoo! Shoo! And in a flash, my tears dried up.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? But it is okay that you're here. What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial.
Last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Mukuro's trial.
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it, like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you. Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is it was all the work of the mastermind. What? You're saying the mastermind killed Mukuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you
You
say?
spotted the trap? Did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy. I just, you know.
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules, which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules?
They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean.
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here! For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind.
But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school.
Every last mystery?
But
But we've been looking around all this time and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone? Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say.
But figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Mukuro and all the school mysteries?
It's a pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
Indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint?
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable.
Huh? But why?
So in other words,
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to have set foot in this school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
In other words,
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are those 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in that main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mukuro and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them?
that's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now? You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
You can't be serious.
Wait, we can't say that's for true yet. Monokuma might have just said that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. So they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
but
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right.
Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my family.
At this point, I can only rely on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master, he didn't take me with him. Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream, or coffee. You're totally useless. So, bye. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall.
Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves?
What about you, Hina?
I guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know?
'cause
But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else.
You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died.
Makoto! That's really nice of you to say.
but,
But still, I know I've mostly been useless.
okay.
So I figure, at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later.
Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
So, you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
so...
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
So then,
Well, I'd better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before. Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this school. And then we can all escape together. I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Mukuro Ikusaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up till now. The headmaster's room, the biolab, and the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Places to check. Right, let's start with the headmaster's room, which was on the 4th floor, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so this is open now. Kyoko's already been in here, but we haven't. Whoa, nice. This is the headmaster's room. I've heard an awful lot about it, but this will be my first time seeing it for myself. Ah, Makoto, it's you. Oh, Byakuya. Well, you came to the right place this time. Would you like to see something interesting? What do you mean, something interesting? Take a look at this. It was on top of that pathetically ostentatious desk. Class number 78, student registry. It contains profiles for all of us, and Mukuro.
So in other
Apparently,
words,
class number 78 refers to us. Wait, when we found Mukuro's profile in Kyoko's room,
I see.
that's right, it also mentioned class number 78. This must be where Kyoko got that page. And since the rest of our profiles are listed in there along with hers,
In other words,
there can be no doubt. Mukuro was a student here at Hope's Peak Academy, just like the rest of us. Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student. That must be how Kyoko learned about it. But it seems that Kyoko was in a hurry. Huh? What do you mean? I'm talking about when she stole it. The uneven tearing, the way the paper had been crumpled. She must have been in a hurry. Well, since she snuck in to get it, I'm sure she wanted to get out as fast as possible. But what's your point? She was in so much of a hurry that she only got the first page. The first page? Correct. Mukuro's profile actually contains 2 pages. What?
so in other words,
When it comes to this profile, there was more information about Mukuro that we still didn't have. What kind of information is it? Why do you ask me to explain every little thing? You can read, can't you? It seems to be some sort of detailed report put together by the headmaster himself. I don't know what kind of man he was, but I'm glad he left us such an interesting clue. I was half listening to Byakuya as I skimmed through the report. Mukuro reappeared suddenly, and in the background an entity floats, close but just out of reach. The entity known as the Ultimate Despair. Right now I can't be sure if this is a single person or some kind of group. Whatever it is, Mukuro definitely has some sort of connection to it. I have a bad feeling about all of this. I need to push forward with my research into the ultimate despair. And I need to pay attention to Mukuro's behaviour too. This is just my gut feeling, but I think she's dangerous. Despite the countless battles she must have gone through as a member of Fenrir. When she entered Hope's Peak, she didn't display any signs of battle wounds or scars. That fact alone proves her tremendous skill in battle. Naturally, I want to believe in her. She's one of my students after all. But if I decide she's a danger to the other students, I will be forced to take all reasonable measures. Mukuro was a part of the ultimate despair. I don't think there can be any doubt about it now. But wouldn't that mean that Mukuro and the mastermind were allies? So why would they kill Mukuro? Plus, even the headmaster seemed to be afraid of what Mukuro was capable of. They would have had to take her completely by surprise to kill her like that. Or maybe it means the mastermind is even stronger than Mukuro was.
What?
What's wrong, Makoto? Huh?
That's fine.
You seem to be lost in thought, but I should probably point out one other thing. There's another important bit of information within that file that you should note. What is it? Did you notice the picture in there? A picture of a girl perhaps you've never seen before. A girl who seems to be included as part of our class number 78. That should be enough for you to figure out who the girl is. And further information about that girl is included in the file. 5 foot 7 inches, 97 pounds, and it even lists her vitals, 31, 22, 32. Well, what do you think? What do I think? Are you asking me, like, if she has a nice body?
Stop talking.
You hopeless idiot. What I'm trying to tell you is maybe you'll want to keep that in mind for later. Maybe you'll make your way back to the corpse and maybe you'll think, oh, could that mean? Wait, is he trying to say there's a chance the body isn't actually Mukuro? Is that what he's saying? Personally, what I'm thinking seems all but impossible, but it wouldn't hurt to confirm, right?
It's all clear.
That's all I was trying to say. What you do with that information is your business. So I'm back to being Byakuya's errand boy. Mukuro's profile. Oh, and one last thing. It's a bit of advice from me to you, so I suggest you pay attention. Advice for me? You seem to be getting along with Kyoko quite well. It's not that we're getting along, she's just done a lot to help me. Well, don't put too much faith in her. Huh?
In other words,
The cost of that faith might be more than you can afford. What are you saying? Just what I think. Call it a hunch. A hunch. But my hunches tend to be proven right. The advice is free this time. Take it or don't, as you will. I'll keep it in mind. Thanks. Alright, what else is in here? Class number 78 student registry. Apparently that's us. It has profiles on me and everyone that I met at the beginning. And Mukuro. Just like us, Mukuro was apparently a new student here at Hope's Peak. Mukuro Ikusaba, part of the Ultimate Despair. Which means her and the Mastermind should have been allies. But then why would the Mastermind kill her? Weren't they friends? There are documents scattered all over the floor. Somehow it makes me feel anxious. There are trophies and even a shield in the display case. The bookshelf seems really well made, and it's filled with files and thick books. Is that really all there is in here? I guess we're done with the headmaster's room. Where else did we have to check? The bio lab on the 5th floor. The Monokuma door in the data center on the 4th floor. Well, we're on the 4th floor at the minute. So let's head to the Monokuma room. Am I lost? Yes. Right, here's the data lab. So the Monokuma door should be open now. Hi, Hina.
Hey, Makoto.
Ah, Makoto, are you here to look around too?
Is that what you're doing here?
Yeah, I can't help but wonder about that Monokuma door.
Yeah.
So I figured, if all the doors in school had been unlocked, that one should be open too, right?
But
Although I couldn't bring myself to open it. Because it might explode, right? And that'd really suck. So, you open it. I'm sure she didn't mean it, but she made it sound like she was okay with me getting blown up. Well, I was gonna open it anyway, Hina. Okay, so I guess I'll open it. Ah, wait! Let me take cover first. I don't want to get exploded. Hina raced over to a nearby desk and hid underneath it. Okay, go ahead. Everything will be okay, right? Alright, here goes nothing. I threw all my weight into it, but the door opened much easier than I expected. There was no explosion, thankfully. My first impression was... Wow, this place is totally sci-fi. Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. What is this device? It looks like some kind of control panel. It's really over the top though, like some kind of military installation or something. Yeah, it kind of looks like a mech cockpit, right? Hifumi probably freak out if he saw it. Cockpit? So the Monokuma room has a control panel that looks like some kind of cockpit. Then could that mean...
Okay.
Alright, let's start poking at it or whatever. I'm gonna start pushing buttons. Hold on, you can't just or whatever something like this. But it was too late. Hina was already jabbing away at the control panel. Huh? Did you hear that? Yeah, I think it came from the other room. Hina, what did you push? I'm not totally sure, but I think that it was that one. The button that says Data Center. Data Center? I took a good look at the control panel, and I saw a bunch of buttons, each with the name of a room next to it. And just like Hina said, there was one labelled Data Center. That must be the one she pushed. But the Data Center, that's right next door. The room we were just in. That's where the strange noise came from. I'd probably better go check it out.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I'm kind of scared out of my mind right now, so I'll just cheer you on from over here. Did I just hear what I think I heard? Is that Monokuma? Hey! Grr! Give me all your donuts! Is that you, Hina? What? Oh man, busted! How did you know?
Say what?
Anyway, what is this? Some kind of remote control camera kind of setup? You don't even know what you're controlling?
Hello.
Well, I mean, I can't really see anything from in here.
Found it.
Guess what I found? A self-destruct button. Whatever you do, don't push it.
Too bad.
Aw, man. Were you seriously gonna push it? Anyway, I guess that settles it. The room with the Monokuma drawing on it, and the control panel inside. Whoa! Hey Makoto, what the heck was that just now? Monokuma. Huh? What do you mean? What you were controlling just now, it was Monokuma.
Huh?
Monokuma? What? For real? Yup, it looks like that panel definitely controls Monokuma. Which means the mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. Yeah, they were definitely in here. The mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. And this control room is totally separate from the data center with all the monitors. In other words...
Hey,
maybe the mastermind can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time. Kyoko's theory was right. But if the mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from here, that means they've been inside the school this entire time, right? I guess that would have to be true. But if that is true... It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students, and the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. Then the mastermind
Monokuma's puppeteer really is the 16th student? No, it can't be. There's no way, right? Monokuma control room. What's wrong, Makoto?
Oh. What's wrong, Makoto? I don't like the face you're making.
Oh, no, it's nothing.
Oh, okay.
What about you? Is everything okay?
Oh, well, it's just... This is where the mastermind's been hiding, right? Who knows if they set up traps or something?
I can't say it isn't possible, but I really hope it's not true.
So, like, you want to leave soon? There's still lots of other places to check out.
Yeah, good point. We can't waste all our time standing around here. Okay, you want to get going?
Yeah.
There's a hatch there.
What's wrong, Makoto? Let's hurry up and get out of here.
Okay. As soon as the door to the data center was closed, I heard a strange sound. What was that?
Ah, the door! It just locked on its own.
What? My hand shot out to grab the doorknob. You're right, it's locked. But why?
Of course it's locked because the data center is now restricted.
Monokuma?
Just a second.
Hey, no fair. You can't just go around restricting whenever you feel like.
Hey.
It's for your benefit. Cause if that room stays open, I won't be able to move around. Imagine how depressed everyone would get if the school mascot just up and stopped moving.
Then that room.
Yep.
As you may have guessed, that's where my controls are.
So right now, you're being operated by someone in that room?
Yes, indeed.
Correctamundo.
You're alive.
But that doesn't make any sense. We were just in there and we didn't see anyone. Oh, you didn't, did you? Are you sure you were as thorough as you could have been? Did you happen to check a certain suspicious hatch?
No way! The hatch on the floor?
Too bad. That was your one big chance, and you blew it.
Too bad.
Of course, that hatch can be opened from the outside anyway, so whatever. Now then, this room is officially restricted, so no more investigating. I'll be relying on you guys to tell the others. Peeve!
He's gone, but
So,
was he telling the truth? The mastermind was hiding in there? In fact, if you think back to when we got locked out of the control room, that proves it for sure.
Then, when I said we should leave,
Well, that hatch couldn't be opened from the outside anyway, right? So it's not your fault.
sorry.
okay.
Anyway, we don't have to let it get to us. We have to stay positive and make the most of the time we have left.
You're right. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's keeping my body moving.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go run around and tell everyone what we found here. Nice, you've got me all motivated again.
You got it.
Okay, I'm out. See you later.
Hina took off at full sprint, and I have to do what I can too. That's the only way forward. Right, let's head upstairs to the biolab. That the bio? Yeah, that's the biolab. Right. It's got raw on the door. So what's in here? It was locked this whole time. So what is in here? What's so special? Well, here I am in the biolab. It's so cold. It's like abnormally cold. I feel like I'm in a giant refrigerator. Seriously, why is it so cold? There's a stack of tarps here. I've been seeing a lot of these things lately. Ugh, so cold. Why is it so cold in here? That's the first thing I need to figure out. There's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. And there on the left side, there's a bunch of glowing blue lights. But on the other side, there's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. I've seen something like this before. Ah, that's it. I've seen this kind of thing in horror movies and stuff. It's a fridge for storing dead bodies. Does that mean this biolab is actually A morgue? Should probably take a closer look around. Oh, there's some kind of booklet here. It looks like an instruction manual. We offer an eco-friendly alternative to standard dry ice for all your cadaver needs. In addition to the germicidal lamps, we also provide an ozone generator for the removal of ethylene gas. Simply insert the cadaver and the blue light will let you know the automated systems have activated. Temperature and humidity levels would be adjusted automatically for optimum settings. With our system, anyone can keep a body fresh as a daisy for as long as you need. In the unlikely event of a problem, the red light will activate and an alarm will sound immediately. The exterior is stainless steel and we do offer an optional leather upholstery upgrade package. This is the instruction manual for the fridge? There's some kind of weird machine. Left side, there's a bunch of glowing lights, but only some of the lights are on. The ones on the left. The right hand lights are off. Well, looking around, I think I get it. It seems clear to